In this tutorial I'm going to show you the new paint tool that's in version 2.40. I've already got a dataset loaded. When you import a new dataset, it's always worth going to Operations and Optimize Mesh Structure. This will ensure that there are no unused points and triangles in the mesh and will ensure that the structure of the mesh is coherent. Once you've done that, you can right click on the mesh and go to make active, and that will bring up the extended ribbon bar at the top of the screen here. If you don't have a facies map already created, you just click this button here and it will create a new facies map for you. That's the target for the interpretation. Then we need to define what facies we're going to paint. So I've got a few values already in here, but if you want to create a new one, you click this button and we can type in a new facies here. So I'm going to call this one facies 6. To select the facies, you can select it from the list here. This is the radius of the sphere that we're going to be using to map with, so this is effectively your paintbrush radius. I'm going to set mine to 0.5, half a meter, and you'll see that the paint sphere that's shown in the 3D view changes according to the size of the radius set here. So then we click paint facies. There'll be a moment or two before you can start painting. It's reorganizing the mesh structure to make the painting more efficient, and then we simply paint across the outcrop. Now this is classifying the vertices in the mesh, not the mesh faces. That's why sometimes you see this fringing around the outside. So we can interpret pretty quickly. If we want to delete something, we simply go back to our background facies and then we can delete. If we want to make the sphere bigger, we can either change the radius in the ribbon bar up here, or if we use shift and the mouse wheel, we can change the size of the paint sphere interactively, and we can remove what we've interpreted. Let's go back to a smaller sphere. Let's go to this facies here, and we can interpret back in. While interpreting, we can move around by holding the shift key, and then carry on interpreting as we see fit. Again, if we make a mistake or we want to tidy things up, we can just go back to background and tidy up like that. So let's bring our radius down to 20 centimeters, and we select another facies and we can continue with our interpretation. If we select show overlay, it'll switch off the texture and leave us with just our facies interpretation. We can then export our interpreted facies model out into an ASCII file that can be imported into some other software. Okay, so that's the facies painting tool that's available in the new version of VRGS. Version 2.4 has quite a few other new tools in there. I'll put up some tutorial videos on those at a later date.